Hello, welcome back to PlayStation Access. I'm Nathan. I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave, we're back to something for the weekend.
Oh, it's the sign, Nathan.
You can tell because every month we generate enough electricity to power the sign for as long as it takes us to do this intro.
Rob's downstairs now.
He's barely, that's the if you hear squeaking, that's Rob on a cycle generator. What we're here to do is celebrate local multiplayer gaming, which is something we love on Access anyway. And there's something for the weekend, like that's something that PlayStation will be doing. If you go online, PlayStation.com, there's a massive list of games and they're broken down into different categories depending on how you want to play, like party games or split screen. Today is pass and play.
Pass and play. In my day it was level and life.
Level and life?
Yes. Level, pass the pad, or lose a life, pass the pad.
Okay.
Now, there are more exciting ways to do that. Games have more than lives and levels.
I was going to say this, in this feature there's going to be different ways of, like, there's different sorts of experiences. Some of them are story based, so it's like, different end of a chapter or whatever. Sometimes in Crash Bandicoot it's just when one player, is about to snap the pad in half and then it's time to pass and play.
Rob again.
Pass and play, everybody.
And in fact, if you've got your own ways for pass and play that you can think of, your own games that you've created your own rules with your friends, let us know in the comments below, because I'm always looking out for a new pass and play experience.
Dave's got a lot of time on his hands.
I've got a lot of time, yeah.
So let's get on with the feature.
Our first entry is one of the first games that captivated us on PS4, and by captivated, yes, we do mean kept us unblinkingly awake for hours trying to perfect our high score run. Rez Gun was a PS4 launch title, a beautifully polished, particle effect heavy arcade shooter that gave the big guns of the lineup a serious run for their money. It still plays wonderfully, and it's never better than with a friend alongside. The game's constantly under threat high score multiplayer provides sustained tension, and it's physically impossible to watch someone play without thinking on a deep and irresistible level that you would be doing it better. The perfect balance of enjoying your friends' successes but also wanting them to die as quickly as possible so that it's your go now, thank you very much. Which is very much the impulse behind our second game too, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Crash comes from a more uncompromising era of gaming, a time when platformers weren't worried about your feelings or the tantrums you might have having fallen off the same bit of stormy ascent for the 15th time in a row. And that's what makes it a perfect pass and play game, both the fact that every failure has you instantly wanting another go, and also how easy it looks when you're the one watching. Just do the jump! Do it! Good. Now it's my go. Our third entry picks up on a different way of playing things together entirely. Until Dawn is the PlayStation exclusive cinematic teen slasher from Supermassive Games, a knowing, just trashy enough take on the horror genre that puts you in charge of all the key decisions as a group of young friends become isolated in a mountainside cabin, and then waits patiently for you at the end to see how many of the cast you've kept alive. The scares and the story are best with company anyway, just like any horror night in, and even better when you swap the pad after every chapter, or, if you're getting through them as regularly as we did, every character death. We're jumping into PlayStation VR for our next entry, the brilliantly simple, slyly humorous heading simulator, Headmaster. Welcome to the Football Improvement Centre, the dystopic voiceover says, which is not a prison. What it is, though, is a consistently varied, often laugh-out-loud funny, and above all, really fun-to-play series of high-score challenges that test your ability to head footballs accurately into targets in ever more complicated setups. Genius not only because it uses the most basic function of PSVR to such repeatedly brilliant effect, but because the game's leaderboard makes this perfect for pass and play competition. And that's before you get into the game's 9 party mode levels, in which things go from strange football to just very strange, with darts, bowling, and inflatable King Kong levels thrown in. Keep your PSVR headsets on for this next title, or actually take them off if you prefer, because Superhot is available as both a brilliant PS4 title and a totally different PSVR game too. There's a handy bundle on the store if you'd rather split the difference and have both. And here's why that's a good idea. Superhot is a unique, time-shifting wonder, part shooter, part puzzle game in which time only moves when you do, meaning you can line up your next move and even aim at particular enemies with the clock stopped before kicking everything back into motion in an explosive balletic flurry. There's something inherently satisfying about interacting with the time and movement system, whether in virtual or regular reality. The game's brilliant hook means it's impossible to watch Superhot and not want to be playing it yourself. Retro platformer Celeste is our next entry, a game of responsive controls and split-second reactions about a young woman called Madeline climbing a mountain. Celeste comes from Matt Thrower, the creator of another Access multiplayer favourite, Towerfall Ascension, and it also has a similar feel of double jumps, wall slides and momentum. This time though, the game and its levels are designed to push the simple but deep controls to their, or rather your, limits, such that it's sometimes just as hard to figure out how you're supposed to get across the screen as it is to actually do it. And of course, just like earlier entry Crash Bandicoot, watching someone else play is basically one long itch to be doing it yourself. There are lots of excellent narrative-driven games on PS4, we've already highlighted Until Dawn, but one of the latest and best is Quantic Dream's android emancipation drama, Detroit Become Human. This is the studio that brought us Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. Their games have a sense of style and setting that few can match, with compelling, choice-driven stories. Detroit's superb performances and big screen looks make it perfect for friends and other halves who want to watch along, and the more measured pace and intuitive controls make it a great entry point for non-gamers if they want to join in too. We have two pounding rhythmic action titles to finish. First, the brutal neon magic of Hotline Miami, a surreal and woozy top-down shooter full of frantic bursts of action and sudden, shocking deaths. The entire game is played at hair-trigger speed, with routes through levels and ways of dealing with armed guards plotted and perfected over several instant restart lives. The whole thing set off by what's still among the best soundtracks on PS4 and the matter-of-fact deadliness of the combat. Perfect for pad passing or entire PS Vita passing if you're playing on the move. And lastly, we have the inspired laser sword mania of PSVR's Beat Saber. Beat Saber does something very simple. It combines the deep satisfaction of slicing things to pieces in VR with the compulsive flow of rhythm action games, the result being a futuristic fight dancing scenario full of absolute bangers that feels incredible to play, but that you should, under no circumstances, ever watch yourself play from the outside. Still, that's half the joy of letting someone else have a turn.
Dave, why are we back?
Because we've got to have an outro, Nate. Otherwise people, they won't know what's happened.
We have to tell them they're allowed to go.
You can go now. Well, not yet actually. Can you wait a minute? We've
Why?
got an important message to say.
What's the message?
Which is like, if you like this video, like it, and please let us know, like I said at the start.
And the bell. I don't know where the bell is, but hit that bell.
Subscribe.
Smash it.
Hit the bell and let us know in the comments below which of these games you've played. And if you've got any suggestions of your own, because like
That's
I said,
the important one.
if I find a friend, I'm going to make them pass and play with me.
Yes.
Which I regret saying out loud. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
For the players.